Hey, say the words adjustable rate mortgage, and most people immediately think back to 2008. Yeah, I know. That era left a mark. But here's what most people don't realize. The adjustable rate mortgage of today is completely different, and so is the environment in which we're lending it in. So here's the real question. Are adjustable rate mortgages, ARMs as we call them, really dangerous? Or are they a smart strategy for those that know how to use them? Let me see if I can simplify this a little bit. What an ARM means is there's two phases to an adjustable rate mortgage. There's phase one, that's the fixed phase. Typically that's 5, 7, maybe even 10 years with a fixed rate, just like that 30-year fix that you probably already have. Then there comes phase two, and it's the adjustable period. So after whatever your fixed period is, your rate can adjust periodically based off of a market index. But this is critical. There are caps on how much it can move. So it's not the wild, wild west. It can't just completely run away the very first adjustment. There are caps in place, but you need to understand what those caps are to understand what risk you are at or just how to plan accordingly. So let's back up a little bit. We talked about 2008 being crazy. We all heard the news, people losing their homes. It's all the adjustable rate mortgage's fault. Not exactly. The problem back then was there was a lot of different factors involved in what happened in 2008. And it wasn't just the adjustable rate mortgage. It was a combination of several things. One, a big piece of it was the no income verification. That's right, in 2008, we didn't verify your income. Looking back, that sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? We're going to sell you a $400,000 house and not even ask if you make money. That was a big piece of what happened in 2008. Number two, there was teaser rates, meaning that start rate was super, super low. We had this thing called a pay option ARM. You just got to pick what you paid us. Once again, looking back, sounds kind of crazy. And it was, and it didn't work. Those teaser rates started low, but they jumped aggressively. And there was either no caps in place, meaning the market could swing completely without any limitations, or they were very poorly structured that put you, the homeowner, at risk. So it wasn't just the ARM that got us in trouble. It was all these aspects of the environment in which we were lending in. The teaser rates, the no caps. And honestly, borrowers just didn't understand the risk. And we didn't do a great job in this industry of explaining the risk. There's good news. Today's loans are much more regulated, they're much more documented, and they're structured completely different. Now hear me, that doesn't mean zero risk. It doesn't. But it's a very different environment. And just because there's some risk involved, there's risk involved in almost anything we do. There's risk driving your car down the road. There's risk in every investment you make. Like an adjustable rate mortgage, an ARM, if you will, in today's environment, in today's market, it carries about the same amount of risk as anything else that you do. So I don't want you to be scared of them. I just want you to understand them. So let's talk about when an ARM makes sense. This is important. This is where strategy comes in. Scenario one, where I think an ARM makes perfect sense, is short-term ownership. If you know for a fact that you're going to be selling your home in the next 5 to 7 years, an ARM, depending on where the market sets at the time that you purchase, might be the right vehicle for you. And here's why I say that. You're still in the fixed, if you do a 5 or 7 year ARM, you're still in the fixed portion. And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, the starting rate or the fixed rate period of an ARM is lower than a 30-year fixed rate. So if you know you're leaving in 5 years and you do a 7-year fixed rate ARM, meaning it doesn't adjust for 7 years, and you get a better rate, why would you not do that? That is using a great strategy to better yourself financially. ARMs aren't ARMs aren't the bad guy here. It's just good strategy. So that's one way if you have a fixed term of when you're going to be there. Another time that you might consider it, and we're kind of in this environment right now, although it's a little volatile, a lower initial rate. ARMs often come with a lower initial start rate, which means lower monthly payments. That's a great time to look at an ARM or in a falling rate environment. Because yes, you're going to be fixed for the first 5 or 7 or 10 years. Even if you're planning on staying longer term in a falling rate environment, there's a chance your rate's actually going to go down when it starts adjusting. Can't guarantee. There are risks involved, remember. But the reality is this. There are times that an ARM makes sense. Probably the other scenario that I can think of off the top of my head when an ARM might make sense is if you have an income growth forecast, meaning you know for a fact that you're going to make more money in the next 5 to 7 years than you're making right now. It might make sense to do an ARM because if your income is expected to increase significantly, you'll have more flexibility later and you can decide what you want to do. Now hear this. If you're in an ARM and it's coming to the portion where it's going to start adjusting and the market is not favorable, you don't have to keep it. You can refinance it into something different. It's just a tool. It's something you can use to better your situation today and maybe later just reposition. I think probably the most important piece of the equation for anyone who's considering an ARM is you have to have a solid exit strategy. You have to understand that you're getting into this mortgage and you better have a solid plan on how to get out of the mortgage for every scenario. If the market goes down, what am I going to do? If the rates go up, what am I going to do? If my house value falls, what's that going to look like? You should never go into an ARM without a clear exit plan. Whether that's sell, refinance, pay down, I don't know. But you've got to have a plan because ARMs aren't forever. And if you don't have a solid exit strategy, that's where people get hurt. That's where the pressure mounts. And sometimes people don't come out on top. So here's the real risk. Let's be honest, there are risks. Like I talked about, there's risk in everything. Probably the number one risk that most people think about when they think ARMs is the rate increases. Yeah, rates could go up. Your payment can go up. That's a reality of the ARM. Number 2 risk, market timing. If you plan to refinance, but rates are higher at that point and you can't, then you need to be prepared for that. Then what? What are you going to do? What's the plan? What's the exit strategy then? And probably the number one risk, I think, for most homeowners, at least people that think like I think sometimes, that are true optimists, we always think the glass is half full or we need a bigger glass or something like that. It's overconfidence. If you think you've nailed the market, you can predict the market, well, first of all, you and I should talk because I need to know what's going to happen. And 2, you might be overconfident. That's assuming everything will go perfectly. And when people assume that, that's where they get hurt. That's where things backfire and backlash on them. So here's the decision. Here's what I want you to think about if you're considering an ARM as a tool, as a vehicle to build wealth for you and your family and leave great legacy. Here's what you have to ask yourself. How long will I realistically keep this home? How long are you going to be there? What's your plan? Do I have flexibility if rates rise? Or am I capped out? Can I not afford to spend another dime on this house payment? Also, do you have a clear exit strategy? How am I going to get out of it if things don't go as I thought they would? And let me ask this. Are you choosing it? Ask yourself this actually. Are you choosing it for the right reasons, or are you just chasing a lower payment? If you can answer all of those confidently, an ARM might be a smart tool for you. So let me close with this. Adjustable rate mortgages are not inherently good or bad. They're just a tool. And like any tool used correctly, they can create opportunity. Used incorrectly, they can create problems and chaos. We've seen that. If you want help evaluating whether an ARM's the right play for you, reach out to your mortgage professional. You can always call us at Crosspoint Home Loans or call whoever you trust as your advisor when it comes to these things, these mortgage needs. And if you know someone who's heard never touch an ARM, don't get close to them, maybe share this video with them. Because I will tell you, a lot of the most successful people I know, those that have been really, really good at building wealth through real estate, have used this tool to do so. They're not inherently good or bad, remember. ARMs are just a tool, and they may be right for you. Do me a favor. If you'll like or share this video, that helps us get the word out. We're just here to educate you. That's what the Mortgage Toddcast is all about. We want to make sure you make great decisions on your mortgage needs and are educated with everything you need to know before you make those decisions. Until next time, have a great day. Make sure you subscribe to us, tell your friends about us, and we'll talk soon. Take care.